Our friends and partners relay some of their best tips for facilitating maker activities and learning environments related to timing, language, project arcs, and curriculum. These snippets are drawn from Maker Ed's Ask a Maker Educator series, all of which are also available at makered.org/community.
If I had to simplify what my objective as a facilitator is throughout, all of my programming, I would say, how do I make myself obsolete? And not in a bad way, but more like, how do I set this scenario up that they don't need me?
For me as a teacher, I thought a lot about how I could step into the role of facilitator versus like sage on the stage.
We base the journey on starting with students themselves. What do they know best? They know themselves. So we start with activities where they're making something that's relative to them. What kind of utensil do I need to make eating my favorite food easier? What would my dream bedroom be? And so they actually learn Tinkercad, they build scale models, and they build in circuitry and other things into the things that they're doing.
Every morning there was kind of an hour where kids were at school but weren't in class. And so a lot of kids use that time to invent things. And it was probably their most exciting part of the day for them. And I spent a lot of time cutting cardboard and talking with them about what their inventions meant for them. And so I tried to channel that into teaching in the classroom, and our middle schoolers did a whole design unit kind of based off that cart. So that was a lot of fun.
In project-based learning, the kids really need time with their group. They need time to communicate. They need time to fail. They need time to have multiple iterations and multiple failures so that they can get through to the final project. They need time for input, and it just seems like at some point you have to move on, right? So for me, to solve that problem, what I usually do is I give a presentation day. And I just let the kids know that on presentation day, your presentation has to be ready. So they have a digital presentation that they get up and present that goes through their idea. Your project itself doesn't have to be finished. And I think by taking that layer off, their intensity or their stress of, oh, we've got to get through another iteration, we've got to fix this, we've got to fix that problem, comes off. And then I just let them know if they want to continue working on that project after presentation day, no problem. But this way, those people who are ready to move on can move on.
We have a tendency like put your hands in your pocket when you walk up to kids, and you cannot take your hands out of this pocket. You need to use your words, like saying those things to the staff. And it's like, okay. And that's kind of step one. If you are putting your hands into the project, because I'm not saying, don't ever help anyone, but you want to make sure you're doing it thoughtfully and you're doing it responsibly, where you're not taking over the project. Because a really, I don't even know how to say it, but like a very not good thing to do is to undermine a kid's confidence by giving them that body language that they can't do it. By taking someone's project, you're saying, you can't do this, I'm going to do it for you. And if you wanted to do, and actually we do this with teachers sometimes, is if you take the project, look at the kid's face and see where their eyes are. I would, I can't guarantee it, but I could say very close to 100% of the time, their eyes are going to be somewhere else in the room. They're not going to be on the project. And every word you say, because everybody's done it, and I've done it a million times, and you're talking about it, and the kid's not listening to words you say, because they're like, oh, well, I can't do this, so why am I even bothering? So it's really important to support that with positive effort. And even if it becomes kind of like either a mistake or this just didn't work out at all, then you swoop in and you kind of say like, okay, well, why didn't it work?
So I think mapping out their ideas is a really useful thing for them for reference, and also for you to get insight to where their thinking is, where their process is.
So it doesn't matter. This is all part of the process. And often kids, people in general, don't necessarily need the answer. They need that, sounding wall. They need a, backboard to talk to. And, really you can just echo what they say with questions, and then they start their conversation, and you're kind of just facilitating that.